What's going on, fellow Harry Potter fans? Welcome to Inside the Wizarding World. We have some interesting developments about HBO Max's Harry Potter reboot to discuss today, so I want to discuss all of that with you guys, but then also sort of discuss my personal pitch for the series, seeing as HBO are absolutely adamant they're going through with it. Before I go on, this is a new channel to YouTube and it's all themed to the Wizarding World. I'll be covering lore, merchandise, gaming, anything that comes from the Wizarding World in the future, you know, movies and TV shows. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to give the channel a subscribe and hit the like button, as it really helps me out. So last year we had the announcement that HBO Max were planning on remaking the Harry Potter movies, but as a TV series instead. The show is set to be a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's books. I did a 2024 update on the show last week, just to bring you guys up to speed with the status of the show as it currently stands. Well, now it seems we have further developments to add to this, as I completely expected. So let's just dive straight into the developments from HBO themselves. The first thing to discuss is this article from Deadline. The article reads, "Deadline understands that things in Potterworld are now heating up, with a marathon of pitches underway from writers vying for the right to adapt J.K. Rowling's 7 books. Martha Hillier, Kathleen Jordan, Tom Moran, and Michael Leslie are among those who are presenting their visions to the streaming service and Warner Brothers Television," sources said. "It's an interesting mix of Brits and Americans. We've heard that a group of writers were commissioned by Max to create pitches for a series reflecting their take on the IP. We hear the first round of pitch meetings happened in Los Angeles this week, and sources said the top choices will go on to the next round in the UK. It is unclear how involved Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who lives in Edinburgh, Scotland, has been with the process, but she is expected to be involved in the decision making on the series, which she executive produces. Deadline understands that there may also be an opportunity for more than one of these writers to be involved, and that Max is open to the possibility of developing more than one idea based on Harry Potter." So what I'm going to do is very quickly read the section of the article that explains who these writers are, so you guys can get a grasp of what kind of writing credits they have. Hillier is a British writer who was executive producer of Netflix and BBC fantasy series The Last Kingdom, as well as the spin-off film The Last Kingdom, Seven Kings Must Die. Jordan created the Netflix series Teenage Bounty Hunters. Moran is a British writer who created Amazon series The Devil's Hour. Leslie wrote The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and the exec producer of AMC's John Le Carre drama The Little Drummer Girl. So what are we taking away from this? There's been numerous pitches by these writers to pen the show, and it seems to be an open thing where they may possibly intend on introducing more writers to the fold. It seems to me, and I may be understanding this wrong, but I don't think they're against the idea of having a few creatives writing this script. What's more, HBO want to produce more Harry Potter themed shows in connection with the series. So that's pretty much the news update we have for this upcoming show. So now I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and also say what I think they should do, or my personal pitch, if you will. Now, I said this in my last video. I have to be completely honest with you guys here. I'm not overly fond of the idea of remaking Harry Potter. I don't think this show will have the cultural impact on people that the movies did. A lot of people, like myself, are emotionally attached to the actors who portrayed the characters in the movies, that when it comes to introducing new people in their places, it's automatically going to create a level of disapproval, only because everyone's become so attached to the actors who played them before that it feels like they're trying to sort of erase the work all of those talents put into the roles, but also they're wanting to expand on the world of Harry Potter with whatever that entails or what they have in mind. And I feel like the movies could have really benefited from an expansion on its worlds. We could have had projects that tied directly into the movies as opposed to starting from fresh. It just seems a shame that the movies we grew up with are now going to be left in their own timeline with nothing added, whereas this new world will have all this lore and depth added. I just feel it's quite sad. Personally, that's just my take. But seeing as this is absolutely happening, I think a personal pitch of mine, and possibly a show way to make this a success, would be if they leaned into developing the show as a pure adaptation of the book. So they could do a few chapters within an episode, but the way it could separate it from the movies for me, like this, they could lean into the Disney days of old by having a CGI representation of the books come to life and sort of transport the viewers into the book at the beginning of every episode and then show the chapter or chapters ending at the end of every episode. As I said, this makes the show more of a book adaptation than it does a remake of the movies, if I'm making sense. I'd keep this theme throughout the 7 seasons they're planning. I'd basically make it seem like the book has come to life before the viewer's eyes. This way it gives fans the choice of, do you want to watch a cinematic movie experience or do you want to watch a straight up adaptation of the books? Basically like an illustrated ebook come to life as a series. Honestly, I would have animated it personally. I think it would have been incredible and would have separated any comparisons to the movies if we had a full, say, CGI animated show. I just think it would have been the best way to move forward and not feel like they're sort of attacking our childhoods with the Harry Potter we grew up with. You know, they could easily have done more spin-off movies around the live action universe they've created and also create this animated one, but obviously they're not doing that. I'd also focus on establishing the backstory they want to cover before anything else. This was where the movies got bits wrong. If they're going to tell us something, keep it consistent and established before anything else. I'd go as far as saying, cover those backstory plots before you do the novel in full. Many people want more depth to certain characters. Make it faithful and established fully on paper before you think about details you want referenced in the show with the trio and so on. I couldn't really add much more to it than that, but what do you think? Good pitch? Bad pitch? I'm quite intrigued to hear your thoughts on it actually. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have made it this far, please give the video a like and consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video.